name is Salsabila Kurnia Ramadhani and my last student number is 040.
Hello everyone, my name is Mizela Luvita. My last year number is 039.
Hi, I'm Mersaki Prabu with student ID 087.
Hello everyone, my name is Zakia Sabila. My last number is 042.
Hello, my name is Adi Nugroho Pangestu and my last student number is 013.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from group 2 and we will start with an introduction to morphemes, then move on to the understanding free and bound morphemes. After that, we will cover prefix, infixes and suffixes and circumfixes. So, let's get started. So, in this video, I'd like to talk about morpheme. So, what is morpheme? Morpheme is the smallest meaningful unit in language. Morpheme cannot be broken down into smaller meaningful bits. It is a word or part of word that has meaning. Or we can say morpheme is a meaningful part of word which means something on their own with other morpheme. And morphemes can be classified into two main types. There are free morpheme and bound morpheme. So let's talk about free morpheme first. So free morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone as a word and still have a meaning. Free morphemes are the building blocks of sentences and can function independently. Free morphemes divided into two categories. The first one is content or lexical words, and second is a function or grammatical word. Content or lexical word is a word that carry the main meaning of the sentences. They include verb, noun, adjective, and adverb.
For example, verb, run, eat, noun, music, dog, door, adjective, slow, beautiful, happy, adverb, quickly, silently.
And for function or grammatical word is a word that primarily serves a grammatical purpose in a sentence, rather than conveying a specific meaning on its own.
For example, for conjunction, there are and, but, because. Preposition, there are in, on, at, and. Pronouns, there are he, she, it. Articles, there are the, a. And auxiliary verbs, there are is, have, will. And demonstrative pronouns, there are this, that, these, those. And comparative adjective, there are better, worse, more. And quantifiers, there are some, many, few.
Well, it's all about free morpheme, so let's jump into the next material about bound morpheme. Bound morpheme cannot stand alone as a word. It must be attached to another morpheme to form a word with meaning. Bound morphemes include affixes and root. Affixes are morphemes that are added to a root word to modify its meaning or create a new word. Affixes are divided into derivational and inflectional categories. Derivational affixes, these affixes create a new word by changing the meaning or the part of speech of the original word. They often form words of different word classes, or it change the meaning of word or its grammatical category.
Example of affixes, there is prefix such as "und," unhappy, and "per" in preview, and there is suffix. There are "ness," in happiness, quickly, meant, enjoymentful, hopeful.
Inflection affixes. These affixes modify a word to express different grammatical position without changing the word class, or to express grammatical features like tense, number, position, or comparison.
For example, adding "s" to cat forms cats, means singular to plural. Adding "ed" to walk forms walked. It means present tense to past tense. Adding "ing" to play forms playing. It means present to present participle. And adding "er" or forms smaller. It means compare two things.
that carries the core meaning. The root can be free morpheme, such like read, or a bound morpheme, like happy and unhappiness.
Alright, so after hearing about the morpheme itself, and Sasa has told you about the free morphemes and bound morphemes, now here I'm going to tell you one of the affixes, which is prefixes. So, what is prefixes itself? Alright, so prefixes are bound morphemes which occur before other morphemes. Prefixes are a type of affix that are added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. So when we add this prefix, we will change the meaning of a word. We have many common English prefixes that I'm going to tell you. For example, we have some prefixes that has the same meaning, which is not or no. We have prefix an, non, this, in or am, ill or air. For example, unhappy means not happy, or indirect means not direct. After that, we have prefix that has meaning not or without, which is a. Prefix a in example is atypical. Atypical means not typical. After prefix a, we have prefixes that has meaning before and after, which is pre and post. For example, pre-war means before a war, and post-war means after a war. Is that all? No, we have many more prefixes. After having prefixes that has meaning before and after, we have prefixes that has meaning opposing and favoring, which is anti and pro. For example, anti-war means opposing war, and pro-war means favoring war. After that, we have many more prefixes. We have inter, we have hyper, we have mol, we have mis, pseudo, and re, which the meaning inter stands for between, hyper stands for excessively, mol stands for badly, mis stands for incorrectly, pseudo stands for falsely, semi stands for partly, and the last one we have re, which the meaning is again. What is about the example itself? For example, interstate means between states. Hyperactive means excessively active. Malnutrition means bad nutrition. Misspell is to spell incorrectly. After that, we have pseudoscience, is a false science. After that, we have semi-public, means partly public. And the last one is rewrite, which stands for to write again. Those are the common English prefixes that we use to find. And I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Alright, let's continue our next material with me, infix. So, what is an infix? Infix are defined as morpheme that slot or put in the middle of a word. In some other language, like in Philippine language, Bontok, Fikas means strong, and this is one root or one morpheme, but we can break it. We can say Fumikas by inserting infix means to be strong. So here means to be, and it makes it turn into a verb. Another example from Bontok language is Kilat means red, and Kumilat means to be red. Fusul enemy. Fumusul means to be enemy, so the infix here insert before the first vowel, and is converted turn into a verb. Then, what about in our mother language, Bahasa Indonesia? Well, in Bahasa Indonesia, we have at least 5 infixes. First one is tunjuk, means to point, added with the infix L, then we have telunjuk, means index finger. Getar, tremble, added with the infix M, then we have gemetar, means trembling. Gigi, tooth, added with the infix R, then we have gerigi, means shredded. Sambung, continue, added with infix in, then we have sinambung, means continuous. Bara, coal, added with infix a, then we have bahara, which means load. Unfortunately, modern English doesn't have official infixes, but a set of infixes that exist. Only we come one feature that school kids would very much enjoy playing around with, expletive infixation. Now, expletive in linguistic terms usually means a word that doesn't contain any meaning itself, but which helps some other goals in a sentence, and it's like being a dummy subject. So, in a word like it rained, what is it? The word, the sky, it doesn't matter. It here as an expletive. But expletive too also has another meaning for non-linguists, a cuss word. Expletive in fixation means taking a cuss word inside another word to add emphasis, which is fan fucking bloody tastic. And this is a general linguistic thing. There are papers written about it, and it's not free for all. English speakers have some rules and patterns that we generally stick to. First rule, we can't use any word or even any cuss word as an infix. The words that can systematically be used like this are expletives that can already be used at almost any points in a sentence. And here are the lists that we can use. They are words that derive from those originals, like freaking, flipping, gosh darn. And we can put a huge number of cuss words in the middle of word, like absolutely or absolutely. In a 1980 article, James Macmillan connected expletive fixation to what he called interposing, which is the interruption of any diacritic phrase. So that would be Mount Sena bringing Helens, of bloody curse, or Isaac goddamn Newton. And second rule, we can seek and spread the infix everywhere in a word. There is some disagreement among phonologists about the exact details of where they can fit in, but there's a general agreement that infix has to go before a stressed syllable, and not to break morpheme in two. So, bloody possible and bloody agreeable are fine, but putting the infix before an unstressed syllable and we will get impossible or disagreeable, which sounds terrible.
Okay, now I will explain about suffix. So what is suffix? A suffix is a letter or group of letters at the end of the words which make a new word or to modify the meaning of the original word. They can indicate various grammatical functions such as tense, case, number, and can also change the part of speech of word. A suffix usually identifies the part of speech of word without giving certain information about the word's meaning. There are some common type of suffixes. First, adjective suffixes. Second, noun suffixes. Third, verb suffixes. And the last one, adverb suffixes. Okay, now I will explain about the common type of suffixes. So the first one is adjective suffixes. Adjective suffixes are ending at to base word to form adjective. These suffixes modify the meaning of the original word to describe qualities, state, and conditions. For example, full, joyful, beautiful, and then less, hopeless, fearless. It's like lacking quality. And us indicate possessing or full of quality, like dangerous and famous. Second one is noun suffixes. Noun suffixes are added to base word to create noun, which can indicate people, place, things, or ideas. For example, we can use and or to indicate a person or things that perform an action, like teacher, writer, doctor, and actor. We can use is indicate a person who specializes in the certain field or practice, like artists, biologists, and pianists. And next, we can use ness to indicate a state, quality, or conditions, like happiness, darkness, kindness, and you can see the other example from the table. These suffixes are used to form nouns that can describe various aspects of people, place, things, and abstract concepts. Okay, the third one is verb suffixes. Verb suffixes are added to base verb to change their form, indicating different tense, aspect, grammatical functions. For example, we use ed to show the past tense or past participle of regular verb, like walk, talk, and play. The second one is we can use ing to show present participle, indicating ongoing action like walking, reading, and writing. We can use s or es to the third person singular present tense like walks, teaches, and fixes. And you can see the other example from the table. Okay, the last one is adverb suffixes. Adverb suffixes are added to adjective or sometimes nouns to create adverb which modify verbs, adjective, or adverb. For example, we can use li to show us how something is done, like quickly, happily, and carefully. The second one is we can use word to show us about direction or orientations like forward, backward, and upward. These suffixes help in modifying verbs and adding more detail about how, when, where, or to what extent an action is performed.
Today, we are going to explore an aspect of morphology, circumfix. These affix are surround a word, giving it a new meaning. Let's dive in and uncover the mystery of circumfix together. So, what exactly a circumfix? Circumfix is a type of affix that is placed around word stem, with one part of the affix at the beginning and another at the end. This dual placement is crucial, as both parts works together as a single morpheme to modify the meaning of the word. For instance, in Indonesian, the word kebersihan means cleanliness. This word formed by adding circumfix ke an around the word bersih, which means clean. The prefix ke and the suffix an work together to create a noun, significantly changing the root word meaning. Let's take a closer look to the structure of circumfix. Imagine a word as a core, with a circumfix acting like a bookends, enclosing and modifying it. The prefix part attached to the front and the suffix part attached to the end, resulting in the new word with a different meaning or grammatical function. A good example is from Dutch, is the bird, meaning mountain chain. Here the circumfix ge and te surrounds the root verb. The two parts of the circumfix is inseparable. They must work together to convey the intended meaning. Let's compare circumfix with other type of affix. While prefix and suffix add meaning to the one side of a word, either the beginning of the end, circumfix do something more complex. They wrap around the word, requiring both prefix and suffix to work together as one unit. This is what makes circumfix unique and somewhat more integrated. Unlike a simple prefix or suffix, which can often stand alone, circumfix need both parts to function correctly. Without both prefix and the suffix, the intended meaning would not be complete. And identifying circumfix can sometimes be little bit tricky, especially they might be mistaken for that just a prefix or suffix combination. The key is that circumfix act a single morpheme. If you remove either the prefix or the suffix, the meaning or the function of the word change significantly or doesn't make sense. So, when you see a word that's been transformed with part of on both ends, consider whether those parts are truly a unified circumfix or just independent affix working in the circumfix. Though less common than prefix and suffix, play an important role in the morphology of certain language. They offer insight into how can evolve complex system of word formation to express nuances of meaning of grammatical structure. Studying circumfix not only deepens our understanding of individual language, but also highlight the flexibility and creativity of human language as a whole. To summarize, circumfix are fascinating type of affix that surround a word, alerting its meaning in unique ways by wrapping both the beginning and the end of a root word. Circumfix demonstrate the complexity and the diversity of linguistic structure across the world. Understanding circumfix enrich our appreciation of language and open up new avenue for exploring how meaning is constructed in different linguistic contexts. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation has provided you with a clear and engaging introduction to circumfix.